Hello, hello. Hola, buenos días, noches, tardes. Bienvenidos a un episodio más de Trascendencia en Acción. Soy la doctora Xochitl Yadira y pues como siempre es un placer tener aquí a mis invitados de honor. Este episodio lo vamos a hacer en Spanglish, así que para que mi gente que quiere tener las traducciones, ya saben, se van a YouTube y ponen las capciones en el idioma que gusten. Así es de que vamos a empezar con todo. Hoy tengo el honor de tener conmigo una jovencita que adoro, que admiro, que es todo un talento, no tan solo aquí en Milwaukee, pero que se está dando a conocer bastante. Bienvenida, Ixchelita.
Olis.
Qué gusto tenerte, que por fin se nos hizo. Así es de que vamos a empezar para que la gente te conozca un poquito más. Dinos un poquito, originaria de dónde eres, nacida aquí en Milwaukee, has estado toda tu vida en tu vida aquí en Milwaukee. Platícanos un poquito de ti.
Sí, nací y me crié aquí en Milwaukee. Bien orgullosa de ser milwaukera. Es toda mi vida he crecido con esa mentalidad de siempre hay que ser orgullosa de donde vienes. No solo soy mexicana, no solo soy chicana, soy milwaukera. I represent 414 till the day I die.
Love it. Woo.
Y pues sí, tengo 20 años. Y como dije, soy chicana. I'm proud Mexican American, como dice Becky G. Proud 200%er. Y también soy hija, soy hermana, soy tía, soy prima. Y una persona que ama a su comunidad, que sea la raza chicana, mi comunidad LGBTQ. Y soy una persona, pues, como dice la gente, no quiero ser cocky, pero talentosa y bien ambiciosa de representar de dónde soy y qué represento.
Sí, y déjame te corrijo ahí. That's not being cocky, that's being proud of what you are, because, man, are you talented? And we're going to get a little taste of that in a little bit, but I love how you go big and proud, you know, and a lot of who you are and your identity is like, it's not one thing. It's like, I'm all of it, you know, like embracing, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm an auntie, I'm a friend. And the one thing that I think it's something we talked a lot about is that you truly do love your community. Like you pour yourself, but you're also the embodiment of what our community is. Like Southside de Corazon, right? Born and raised here, but it's not just that, it's pouring back and giving back to your community and representing your community. So that's amazing. So we're going to talk a lot about your artistry side, but before we get to that, you were always grown here in Milwaukee, right?
Yes.
You were born and raised here in Milwaukee. Tell us a little bit, like, what schools have you been to? What represents, you know, what does 414 mean to you here growing up in Milwaukee?
Well, the first school that I went to was St. John Canty for about a year and a half. And then my mom discovered Notre Dame. Nothing but good things to say about Notre Dame. So I went there from K5. I was actually part of the first K5 class of Notre Dame. So, yeah, when we graduated 8th grade, they were like, oh, this is the OG class. We need to throw a big party. And then I went for high school. I went to DSHA for the first 2.5 years, and then I transferred to St. John Antietam. Again, nothing but love for St. John Antietam.
Shout out to my man Rene, who is now the principal and president there.
Shout out to him. And then, yeah, I graduated there in 2024, and I've been taking a break from education, but like recently the diploma, like my name on the diploma has been calling my name.
Yeah.
So this coming fall, I will be starting to apply to colleges so I could either get my bachelor's or associate's.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm so proud of you. And I've always told you this, like getting a degree and having a career, honestly, if you can do it, right? But I think where your heart and where your purpose and your mind takes you, I have always seen you hustling. And one of the things that I have admired so much is seeing how much you support like your family business and this creative part that you also have and all these collaborations, and you're always hustling and doing something else. You even have your own eyelash line, okay, girl? Like, chill out, okay? When you say I haven't really been like, you've been doing a lot of things that honestly can say a degree can't give you. Like these are things that are inherent to who you are, and building your own brand and doing your own thing. Like that's in your blood. Like that's something that I hope you feel so proud of. Despite how young you are doing great things. So makes me so proud to say it. How has that upbringing, giving the expertise and having the access and having exposure to not just amazing institutions, but a plethora of opportunities, how has that expanded you and who you are today and what Ixchelita is becoming?
Starting off with being proud and being who I am and my identity, I owe that a lot to the faculty and staff at St. John Antietam. A couple teachers I would love to shout out is Miss Sennett, Miss Polachek, Miss Saito, Miss Cece, and one of my counselors, her name is Miss Caston. They have empowered me to always be proud of what culture I come from, my intersectionality as a whole. And I feel like they have really set my mind into being proud of who I am. And also my mom and my grandparents, they have also raised me to always be strong. Do not let what people tell you or any discrimination bring you down. So yeah, I owe that a lot to them.
That's awesome. And especially nowadays, right? I mean, obviously we're living in times where the political environment is not the best, and it's just infusing so much hate in every capacity, not just because of our skin color, of our language, but then all the gender things happening, right? And it hits hard. It hits hard because it hits our community in every capacity. And I have seen you, like, you're very vocal about where you stand, and you're very supportive and standing up for your community. How has that been, having had an amazing support group uplifting you and empowering you to now becoming the voice for many people? How has that been for you?
Believe it or not, a lot of people tell me that they look to me when it comes to representing raza, and it mind boggles me, because I can't really like wrap my head around the fact that you look up to me in terms of who you want to speak for the community. And it makes me really proud to be able to have that platform to speak for my people, whether it is Chicanos, whether it is Mexicanos, the Latino, Hispano community, whether it is even Pueblo Originarios, and also the LGBTQIA plus community. It gives me a warm feeling in my heart to be able to have that opportunity to be a voice for the marginalized. And it makes me fight even harder for the things I want. As much as you can see that I fight for what I want, there's times where I sit back and I'm just like, not lack of motivation, but there's sometimes where I'm not in a mental space where I completely like bust myself down, and it's just like, no, I have to keep fighting because people look up to me. And thankfully this past few months, I've really put it up to myself to be able to realize that there's a goal at the end of the tunnel. That I still have to achieve, and I can't let that go. Yeah. There's so much more that I want to accomplish, and that I have to fight for it, and I will fight for it. And it took a lot. It took a lot having motivation from a bunch of different people, but yeah, we're gonna keep fighting, and we're gonna reach that goal.
Yeah, I love that you touch on that, and thank you for being vulnerable, because oftentimes, especially as Latinos, we're not vulnerable enough, and we're not open enough to talk about mental health. And that is something I always advocate for, right? Because mental health is a real challenge that happens every day in our community. And for people like yourself, who are influencers, who are people, that people look up to, that you're a public figure, and at the end of the day, you're still human, and you're still going through your own growth and development. It feels heavy. And I can relate to that because I've talked a lot about that here in previous episodes, that it's almost like you carry this load on your shoulders and you don't allow yourself the grace of being down or being depressed or being sad or even crying, because I was like, how dare would I cry when there's others having it worse than me? And at the same time, it's like, but I have to allow myself that space to cry and feel and be angry and be, passionate and be all of it, because if I don't, I'm going to crash. And then I can't be the voice for others that they want me to be, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot to carry. And I commend you for recognizing it, for knowing that, yes, you are allowed to also feel all those feelings and then shake it off and keep going, right? Because at the end of the day, there's a book that I read recently, and of course, I'm going to blank on the name of the book. I'll put it later, that basically talks about that we go through generations of survival and resilience saying, soy chingona almighty, I can do this, right? And that chingona almighty, sooner or later, is going to crash down, that nobody's going to realize when you are crashing down, because you have made it such a point that people see you as a strong person, that when you truly are crumbling down, people will notice. And it dawned on me because I was like, oh my God, like I'm guilty of that, right? Like, people would never think I'm vulnerable. I am going through shit as well. I do have, things, and there's days I don't want to get up of bed. And if we don't talk about it, then we allow others to not be given permission to say, we all have those days. And it is okay to have those days. It is not okay to stay there, but it is okay to be vulnerable and feel it, right? And especially when you're in such a young age, and at the same time, such a heavy burden to carry, that it doesn't have to be a burden, but it has to feel like that sometimes. It must be feeling like that most times. So thank you for being open.
And como dice mi padrino, Eric Ramos, El Bilwas, he's always telling me, ponte las pilas, because he sees my potential, and he doesn't want to see me, whether it is because of my own like internalized feelings about myself, whether it is because of relationship. He's like you, and not in his words, but in my own like verbal mantra, like I'm a baddie, so I gotta me tengo que poner las pilas, just to encapsulate all the power and that I've gotten from my ancestors. So just keep grinding.
We're chingona warriors, and we don't stop. We can cry and crumble and get on our knees, but then we get back right up.
Somos guerreras jaguares, period.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. Well, thanks so much for being that voice and being so courageous and keep going, right? Like, aquí no nos rajamos. We keep going. Pivoting a little bit, right? Like using that force and the resilience. Tell us a little bit more about, like, we also see you all the time in los markets con tu mamá and helping with the family business. How has that been for you growing up, seeing all of that and being so involved? How has that shaped you, and what are some of those lessons that you're like, man, I'm so grateful, or man, I wish I would have never gone through that? Like, what has some of those experiences been like for you?
It's definitely a lot of hard work. And I give my mom props all the time. There's days where it'll be event days, and I'm like, I don't want to wake up. I hear my alarm, and I'm like, I have to do my makeup, and then I have to rush and get the manteles and everything. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Because if my mom can wake up earlier than me to get money counted, to put all the stuff in the car, and like, I can do it. And like, I'm not gonna lie and say the events are boring. They're super fun. Like, I've met so many cool people throughout the way. Even at Frida Fest, I've met, shout out to Taime. I've met one of my closest friends at Frida Fest. She was at first a customer, but now she became family. So nice. It's always such a blessing to be able to have that opportunity to go to events, especially to events outside the community. We get so much love. We had an event in Williams Bay. So much love was given to us. And we have events like up north, west, east, whatever. We get a lot of love in the events, and I'm super blessed to be able to share that experience with my mom and my bonus dad. So
yeah, well, I'm a loyal customer because I love everything Artesanía Minga. And I have been fortunate to have seen the transformation from going from your living room to the shop and now moving on to bigger, greater things in the future. But it has truly, to me, as a customer, as a friend of the family, seeing the transformation and the love and everything poured in that community, I would almost dare to say that you are also the face and the brand of what Artesanía Minga represents, right? Because you're not just obviously the daughter of, and the family face, but you embodied everything that, Artesanía Minga represents in our community, from entertaining and activator and creator, because I have seen that you have put together also pieces and accessories that you will also sell in this market. So let's talk a little bit about that creative piece, because you growing up with this has also sparked your interest in, creating your own stuff. So how has that process been for you?
Well, to build up on that, I do have my own brand called La Flaquita Beauty.
Yeah.
And initially it was called Lashes La Flaquita. La Flaquita comes from, it has two meanings. There's, I got called La Flaquita growing up because I've been super skinny, and then also le dicen a la diosa Mixtecacihuatl La Flaquita. She's one of the deities that I embrace in everything that I do. I'm super in tune with like indigenous culture. Without indigeneity, like our culture wouldn't be anything. Right. So I built my whole brand on culturalism, and basically embracing my identity with the beauty identity.
Yeah.
I make earrings out of bandanas. I sell right now, focusing on lashes and lip liners, but hopefully in the future I can branch out with eyeshadow palettes, mirrors, and everything beauty. And then I also started a boutique. So I now sell halters, tube tops, and more to come. And I owe it all to my mom for giving me that inspiration to start my own brand. And also lashes has been a part of my life since like over 5 years now. My sister put on a pair of lashes on me for homecoming, and I never went back since.
You got a taste of them.
So yeah, it's been a really interesting process, learning the ins and outs of business and entrepreneurship, but I'm super excited to learn more and grow my brand.
Yeah, and that's amazing, because think about it, like you're 20 and you've been deep diving into lashes for 5 years, which means your entrepreneurial spirit has started since a very young age. That's impressive, because think about how many ideas and businesses like get developed later in life, and here you are putting your own flavor and taste into the things that you're already using and liking. And how amazing that you have a platform where you can try things out and see how it goes, right? And get creative and then experiment to see where you want to go. So that's amazing. Is there a specific of your line right now? Is there like a specific eyelash style or anything that you're like, this is my baby, this is my favorite? Or am I asking the question like, which kid is your favorite, kind of?
Well, there's a lip liner shade. It's a very dark brown. I'm actually wearing it under the black liner. Like I did a lip combo with it today. That it's such a beautiful brown. It reminds me, the circle chocolate y barra?
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that color, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it. It's such a beautiful brown. So I feel like that's one of my favorite lip liners in my lash styles. This was from my, like the old stock that I had, but this one just, I love wearing it because it just makes my eyes pop. Like the eyelash is the centerpiece.
Like talk about drama in the eyes. Like, wow.
So yeah, my brothers, they're like, oh, you're gonna fly away. I'm like, okay, but I'm a fly away in style. Do not play.
But I love it because it's like your own taste, your own creativity, your own, like you make it yours, and then others get to enjoy that little bit of who you are too. It's amazing. I want to go back to something you said because it's hilarious. So back in my days, we won't age me here, but the Chola vibe, the Chola style, right? It's very Chicana style, very culture driven. Back in my high school days, right? Like I used to once in a blue moon dress up like Chola, and I love like the brown lip. As a matter of fact, I look back at my wedding pictures, which cracks me up. My wedding pictures, my lips were brown. And I had the brown lipstick. And now I look back and I was like, what the hell was I thinking? It was my wedding day. I should have gone with something more, like whatever. But how has that defined you? Obviously, growing up in this aspect, growing out in the South Side, you have made it a staple part of your identity and signature. And now you're branching into your beauty products, making it a brand of yourself. When and how did that start with you? Is it something you were born into it and you grew up with it and it's just part of who you are? Or was there a point in time in you growing up that you were like, I like this vibe, I'm going to go with it? When did that start?
Chicanismo has been a part of my life for a long time. Mm-hmm. My mom, she grew up in Sheboygan to Tejano Chicano parents.
Okay.
And my grandparents were field workers alongside the Bracero movement, the Chicano movement, the Chuco movement. And I guess we grew up with the honor to be able to call ourselves Chicano. Mm-hmm. And as of recently, I started to embrace more proudly that part of the cultural intersectionality. And just representing the culture on a larger scale. Mm-hmm. Making sure that it's destigmatized, decriminalized, and making sure that people know, it's okay to wear a Charlie Brown. It's okay to wear Cortezes.
Yeah.
It's okay to wear dark lip liner. It's okay to wear bold eyelashes. Be proud of all the parts of the Mexican culture. Mm-hmm. And I've just chosen to be more louder and prouder than I was about it. And yeah, I've felt, me identifico más con la cultura chicana, con la cultura cholera. Everything about it speaks to me and speaks to my soul and how I want people to look at Mexicanidad.
Yeah.
And lowriders also, ever since I've seen the movie Blood In, Blood Out,
yeah,
I'm like, I like that one. And then car shows are my happy place.
Yeah.
My mom, I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, crack to me. And just diving into how hydraulics work, how airbags work, and just seeing how much love and attentiveness people put into the rides it's such a beautiful and bright culture that I hope more people get to love and start to love.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love it. And it suits you so well. I've seen you at the car shows when you're performing, or when you break those cumbia moves. She's a queen of cumbia over here. And it suits you because it's almost like, it's not even that you grew up with it and you embrace it, that you seriously embody it and you leave it to the T. It's almost like you studied it so well and then you're like, I'm gonna do it, right? But no, you're literally are full on into it, and it suits you well, and it's such a magical representation because, to your point, it's like when you think about culture, when you think about what it represents, it's not even about the looks. Honestly, it's about everything behind it. It's the movement, it's the history, it's the culture, the celebration of all the, like you said, the ancestors that have brought this from years ago. And the favorite part for me, to your point, has been how car shows and everything with lowriders, right? It was very high hip in a while, 90s, 2000s, and then it sort of slowed down a little bit. And I was seeing how it's all coming back and stronger and better than ever. and more historical, then it was perceived as more like associate, like blood in, blood out, right? Like associated to like violence and gangs and things. Like, no, that was just happened to be an era where it got inherited, but it's not it. And seeing how now that is portrayed, I think there was even, if I recall, there was a big car show that happened at Harley Davidson. And even Harley Davidson made a huge article about it because they were like, wow, the artistry in the vehicles, like you said, the investment, the passion of how some of the, you know, people that take their cars to the car shows is like, holy shit, like
and
how much,
like how the community shows up for the car shows.
And how much they love and care for these cars. Like I have quite a few friends, and my sister-in-law's always going to the car shows. When I see, I mean, they're pieces of art, like seriously flat out pieces of art. The tapestry, the investment, the sound, how beautiful the artwork is on the outside, the drawings, like all this stuff. Like when you think about that, that's what this is about. It's about the symbolism and the lectures and the history behind it that we just need to remind our new generations about it, and that more people hopefully will get more embraced on it. And this isn't just a social movement. It's a historical moment of teaching people where this is coming from. So I love that you touch on that because it suits you so perfectly.
Thank you.
So of all this transitioning, right? So your family, how many siblings do you have?
In total, from like I have a blended family. I have 7 siblings. Okay. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
And I'm the youngest girl, but also the second youngest. So I have a little brother.
Okay.
I just want to shout him out. He got accepted to the University of Chicago.
Woohoo!
And he's going there for his 4 years. Super proud of him. Aww. Full ride. Love you, little bro. So proud of you.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I have 7 siblings, and yeah.
Okay, so how does that feel? Are you like overprotected? Are you spoiled? How does it feel to be like, you know, second to youngest?
I can say I'm overprotected, especially by my oldest sister, Adriana. When I'm wearing like certain outfits, she's like, "Why are you naked?" Or when,
oh yeah, that's sister love.
Or when my mom, like, for example, when my mom me da alcohol, she's like, "And who said you could drink that?" She's like, "Let me smell your breath." I'm like, girl. And so, yeah, growing up with a sister like her has been fun and also like
a little too much sometimes.
A little too much. I'm like, I'm 20 already.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that I grew up with a family that actually cared about like how safe I am and where I am at all times. Because if people are not gonna offend for you when you're out, it's good to know that you have family that actually will drive to wherever you are to make sure you're safe. And also my older brother, I shout him out. He blessed me with 3 beautiful sobrinos, and
so you're like the favorite aunt, probably.
To one of the twins.
Adriana, don't listen to this.
One of the twins, he gets super excited to see me. Like a couple weeks ago, they had came to my grandparents' house, and I went into the car. No me quería dejar ir, and I'm like. And then my sobrina Sofia, love of my life, love her. Like she gets so happy to see me, and every time like I FaceTime them, the smiles on their faces, they're like, "Tia." Yeah, I love my family. I'm a very family oriented person. And I put it up to myself to work harder to be able to keep that family dynamic going. Because when all else fails, family is always going to be there.
True.
So yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen firsthand the love that your family has for each of you guys. Like you guys are very close, not just obviously in love and affection and support, but the way you guys support each other and like, you know, divide and conquer when your mom, you know, it's blessed with her, you know, events and and even showing up for you when you're performing. And like it's really magical to see that, because sadly not everybody has that blessing, right? To have their family under a corner, and to your point, having someone to lean back on that you know genuinely is going to be there for you. So, and of course, not everything is, roses, and obviously that it wouldn't be family, and it would have been dynamic if there's not a little bit of rivalry. But I was laughing because we've had some previous guests before that say, man, I was either the youngest sibling or the oldest sibling, and like having my siblings in my case, and then they grow up and then they stand up to you and it's like, oh, at one point you're like, when you say like, I'm already 20, like I'm adult in here, let me tell you, I'm in my 40s and my mom still like keeps me in check. So just know that never goes away. And most likely, like if you have siblings, like that doesn't go away. And my brother and I, there's only two of us, and he's 10 years older than me. And we didn't really grow up together. I shared my story before. And it's hilarious because once in a while, like he'll call me off on something. And then I'll be like, I'm okay. I got this. And he's like, well, I have to tell you. Right. And so it's like that sibling love will always be there. And so glad to know that you take it with the greatest result and know that, it's coming from a place of love.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about you, right? So now you have become a staple in our community for your singing and your performances. When did that start?
I started dabbling into music at a really, really young age. The first time I picked up a microphone was when I was like 5.
Oh my God.
And I give props to my biological father. He's part of a group called Afecto Norteño.
Okay.
He basically set the puzzle piece of foundation for my love of music. He would take me to my violin classes because not only do I sing and I rap and I dance, but I also play violin.
What?
So
of course you do.
So I thank him a lot for being able to be that fomentation of my love for music.
Yeah.
And then for songwriting, like I've been a fan of poetry. Do you know who Ruby Kaur is? Milk and Honey, the poetry book.
No.
She's an Indian Canadian poet, I think. The first time I read that book, I was like, man, I really love poetry. And that helped me a lot with my songwriting. And I've been able to make my lyrics not only catchy, but deep.
Yeah.
And music has been a part of my life very, very, very strongly. My mom, she would play all the bangers, to cumbias, to freestyle, to bachata, to norteñas, rancheras, to anything you name it. So, like, I owe it to her for my music taste. Also, my older brother, with the rap, all G'd out, and then my sister with the more international music.
Yeah.
For those of y'all who don't know, I really vibe to Arab music.
Yes.
To Ukrainian music, to Turkish music, to any international music. Like I'm like K-pop as well. I love K-pop. So yeah, 3 of them have basically made up my music. My music taste. And then for dancing, my first cumbia song that I was able to listen to was Cumbia sobre el Río by Celso Piña.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned to do cumbia.
Okay.
And that just like ties in all together to what my music is now.
Yeah.
Rap, MCing, cumbia, huepa, and just who I am musically.
Yeah.
And I said this on another podcast because this is generally how I envision my music. Shout out to Hectic and Illy, all 414 podcast.
Yes.
When I write music, I look at like if it was like the music notes and the staccato, vibrato, like all that. Like that's how I envision it when I'm writing lyrics. I'm like, how do I want to do this note and how do I want to like rap this verse. And yeah, it's classical music does take a part in hip hop. So
yeah,
I've been able to make all of that flow together.
yeah, and you're doing it in such a like natural way, and like the flow of it is like it's really amazing. So I have seen you do a lot of like Facebook lives, and you do a lot of recording and recording sessions. How much of the music that you put out is like original by you, and how much of like do you do covers as well, and you do others? But how many like songs have you written? Where are you at with that process?
For recorded songs, I've done more than about 13 tracks.
Wow.
And songs written to different beats, I'd probably say more than like 100.
Wow.
Like it's to the point where my phone is telling me my storage is out, and it's just like like
Yep.
like my Apple Notes is just like I have to like scroll for like a couple minutes to see what song I want to practice again.
So walk me through the process. What does your writing include? Like, do you like, you could be, I don't know, taking a shower and then something comes to mind and then you like immediately go and record it so that you don't forget? Like, what is your writing process like, I guess?
So, when I'm like listening to, for example, when I'm in the car, have my AirPods on and I'm listening to my music on Spotify, there's certain songs where I want to cover and I'm just like, wait, I could twist this and I could make it my own version. I've done that before. And yeah, like what comes first in a song for me is always the hook.
Yeah.
Cause then I can bridge my verses to the hook to make it flow. And then after that, if I feel like it's just the song is stagnant, I'm like, how can I flip and make this more interesting melodically? And it's easier seen than spoken to about.
Yeah.
Cause I have had friends that have seen me like actively writing a song.
Yeah.
I remember back in, it was between freshman and sophomore year. I remember I was grounded and I had my Google Meets because I didn't have my phone. And I remember sharing the screen to my bestie at the time. And I just had a beat on YouTube and they saw me all in my writing mode. And like at the end of the call, it was like 30 minutes after I already had a whole song written down. And I was just like, how does this sound? And they would be like, this sounds fire. You should, hopefully one day you can record it. I ended up recording it. It was Nada Nuevo. And so, yeah, it's just...
You let it really come to you and flow with it. Yeah, that's amazing because we hear so many stories of artists, right? Like they have to have like this deep process and really like isolate and take some time to reflect and think about like life stories. And you just have such a niche to be able to focus and think about like the stories coming to you and be authentic and genuine and sit with it. And then yet be so flow and you know, creative about it. And that's a hard process because even like famous, you know, composers and writers, they talk about this all the time. Even how creating one song sometimes, it's a like months process to get it to the place where they want it. And imagine you having that ability to crack a song, like a whole freaking song in such a, you know, short period of time. Like that's a true gift. That's a big gift.
Sometimes I struggle. I don't know if you've heard my song Frida. That song was written in the span of like 3 years.
Okay.
I had one beat that I really liked and I wrote it. It used to go, pay me like Frida, give me that freedom. But then I found a new beat that is to now, and I was like, wait, what if I change it and make the hook a rap and then the verse is like singing? And so now it came to pay me like Frida, give me that freedom. And yeah, I agree to artists that sometimes it takes years to make a song, but then sometimes it
just
10
hits.
minutes.
It just clicks.
It just clicks.
All right. Well, now you have to give us a taste because you just started already. So tell us, like, what was one of the first songs that you composed, or is there one that you connect with the most that you're like, yeah, this is definitely one that resonates? Like, do you have like one that hits you the most, or are all of them equally?
Wow.
Your favorite one, whatever you wanna treat us with your talents here.
Oh, this is hard. It's like when I asked my mom, "Who's your favorite kid?" She's like, "You're all my favorite."
I mean, considering you have over 100 songs, yeah, I can imagine. Is there one that is more like your recent hit, or something more like newer that you're like, yeah, this is one that I just came up with?
I'd have to say Frida. I'm a very, very big Frida Kahlo fan.
Okay.
Her identity as also a queer individual.
Yeah.
She's been an inspiration to my empowerment as a woman. Okay. And my homie actually made a remix to the song. He showed me it and I was like, wait, I want to release this. So hopefully soon we can get into the studio and officially make the remix, because it's a really fire remix. But my verse for that remix, if I could spit it right now, it goes, pay me like Frida and I'll be okay. You my vibe, baby, come my way. I'm a princesa, so pay me all day. Put me on walls like a display. You know me, I don't waste my time. Come show me what's mine. Let's go to PR, let's have a good time. Talk to me, please stay on my line. Let's love out loud, don't keep it low key. I know you want me in my body. Treat me like your canvas, baby. I'm gonna have you saying on me. Nunca dudes que te amo. Sé que parece extraño. Aquí te doy la buena vida. So come pay me like Frida. And then that's when he goes into it.
Oh my God, that is so fire. So this is one that's already out and you've released it, but you're working on a remix for it.
Yeah, working on making sure that the remix is out because I want to release the remix.
That's amazing. So I had the privilege of, you being at my graduation, and we did a lot of karaoke nights, precisely at the farmhouse with our friend Jaime when we were doing karaoke a couple of years ago. And you're just such a natural in every genre. Like, seriously, I remember we were singing to a few of Juan Gabriel, and then we did some cumbias. When you're thinking about your style, right, obviously, like, rapping is your thing. But is there one that you identify more when you're thinking and inspiring about music that you connect with most?
Besides cumbia, I would say definitely on the more like indigenous MC music.
Okay.
There's two artists that I really love to listen to. One, his name is Chica, and another one is Lo Mejorada. They both have really insane bangers that I listen to, and I'm just like,
yeah,
like this gives me the energy to be able to write a new song.
Yeah.
So yeah,
love it. How about oldies? Have you ever identified with oldies?
Oldies are really good too. And also freestyle as well.
You do a lot of freestyle. You do, and that comes easy to you. You just pick up a couple things to freestyle.
Put on Debbie Deb, Lil Susie, Judy Torres.
Okay. Do you want to freestyle something? Do you need background music for that? I can play you background music. Do you have something that putting you on the spot right now? Is there one that I don't know? Pick whatever you want.
Oh yeah.
Like, would music help you? Like, just play one of your jams.
Probably not. Because as easy as lyrics come to me, like when I put on a beat, like
it just flows.
It just, like, I think of melodies before I think of lyrics.
Yeah.
So it's like freestyle, like to be able to freestyle, I'd have to be like really, really
into it.
But
yeah, let's not put you in the spot then. We'll wait because I know you have some really cool stuff coming up too, and we'll pivot to that in a minute. But of all the stuff that you've done right now, and I see that you perform a lot, and all of your performances are live.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no playback, there's no obviously the music, but what has been like the most exciting performance that you were like, holy cow, this is like my dream experience that you have experienced so far?
Definitely at the OG Lowrider Super Classic show in Chicago. Shout out to Felipe for giving me the opportunity to be able to perform there. I was blessed to be able to open up for a bunch of really cool artists. And I met two of my, what I consider homies now. Shout out Real Vato, Real Migo. Like that experience was like, whoa, I'm performing here. Wow. And then I had a whole table set up. People walked up for autographs, and I was like, wait, like people want my signature? All I had to do was sing. Okay, period. But
and that's just the beginning, right?
That experience has been one of the most like special to me. Mm-hmm. And it was a show with over 750 cars, so it was super big,
wow,
super cool.
It's one of the largest, right? Too.
Yeah, one of the largest in the West.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's been one of the very, very, very big shows that I've been able to be blessed to perform at. And
you have one big coming up, so let's talk about that one, because that's one I know you are super excited about. So you were recently invited. We know like Summerfest is coming, and there's a lot of things coming up. So tell us a little bit about that excitement.
I recently got invited to perform at Summerfest to open up for Anise and Sean Paul by El Sebas.
Oh my God!
Who is part of Brown's crew, but he's focused more on his fomenting his personal craft. Shout out to El Sebas and shout out to his beautiful fiance Amanda, who have been such a big support system for me. Not only are they fellow vendors, but also they became older brother, older sister.
Yeah.
And I've been super blessed to be able to be given opportunities by them, not only now, but also in the past. Last year, I was able to perform as a sub-vocal and a dancer for Sebas at Summerfest. And then 2024, I was brought on as a youth panel speaker for one of the programs that Sebas works for. And then we performed together at El Zócalo in 2023. So yeah, our journey with each other musically and also personally has been super solid, and I'm super blessed to have them as part of my life.
Yeah.
And this year I will be performing my own original song.
Wow.
So being able to sing my own music on Summerfest stage is going to be super, super exciting. And I hope all of y'all pop out and see this cultural experience and just come vibe with us.
When is that happening?
July 2nd at 6:30 at the Miller Light stage.
And that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's like the last weekend of Summerfest too, right? So make sure people come by, and obviously by that time the episode will be coming out, and we'll be able to, publicly announce it more so people can join you and be there. I know I'll be there because I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I'm an Ixchelita fan, but that's amazing. And of course, I know Amanda. I actually used to buy her earrings all the time and her jewelry, and she's such a amazing human being as well. And seeing those collaborations amongst our people is so fulfilling. It's amazing because, like you said, it's not just about setting up the stage and helping others like yourself and the talent. It's about really supporting and uplifting each other. So That's amazing. That's exciting. And you get to perform your original songs.
Yes.
Do you know which songs you're thinking, or is it a surprise for people to come and join and see?
It's actually a unreleased track.
Oh, okay.
It's just to, I guess, put a vibe to it. It's about my coming out story.
Okay.
So, but with a reggaeton bellaqueo cumbia twist.
Oh my God, girl! I can't.
The song is called La Diabla. I hope you guys come and show support and hear the song live. But
brand new song, new release.
I actually did a video of me singing it like a couple weeks ago, and I got really good feedback on the song. So
you did a little taste of it, or did you do the full song?
I did the full song.
Okay.
But yeah, as time went by, I was like, how can I flip it?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you've made some more arrangements to it. Okay, people. So you already know, July 2nd, 6:30, Miller Stage, Summerfest.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, well, we'll be there. So let's pivot a little bit on something you just touched, right? Because I know this is very important to you as well. So new release, new song, and it's about your coming out story. Mm-hmm. So tell us more about that.
Well, coming out has always been like being able to be confident in my identity was a struggle, because seeing how people are treated for simply being who they are can get really, really, really ugly. And thankfully, this past coming year, I was able to completely come out to my mom, my family in general. It felt like a very, very big weight on my shoulders just off. I'm like, oh, finally, I can be who I am. Most of my family have had good, like, not that I need validation from people for simply being who I am, but it's just extra special to have people who are like, oh, you're gay? Okay. We love you the same way. But some family members have took it more on a negative spectrum. They're like, oh, you're supposed to be with man. Like, it makes us uncomfortable. Do I care? No. But I hope you find the peace in your heart to be able to not be bigoted towards a community that's literally the foundation of the community is love. And not only does it talk about the beauty of WLW love, it also talks about the immense emotion that comes with lesbian love. Like, it can be beautiful, but it could be super, super, super deep. I'm a proud queer woman, and I will forever be a proud queer woman. And I'm finally living my truth.
And I want to, first off, thank you for being open and opening up about it, and really, really being yourself in a world and in a time where, to your point, is scary. And I can tell you, as a researcher on the topic of parenting transgender children, the number one finding when I did the research is that the foundation of anyone in the LGBTQ plus community, it starts with the love at home and the support from our loved ones, the support from the parents, the support from the siblings. And that is the number one cause for prevention for suicide and depression and other things that this vulnerable community is already suffering. And when that acceptance is not available in the immediate home, it hits hard. That weight that you talk about, that you felt, even just opening it up and letting them know your truth, because at the end of the day, this is your journey, it's your truth, it's your life. It's not going to change who you are because you're clear on your identity, but it might dictate how your relationship shapes with each one of them and their acceptance and respect above all of you and your decision, right? And I commend you for that, because that is the hardest thing to do in a culture that we're not ready or trained or prepared to even have these conversations. Like, it's so hard. And I can tell you as a mom, and you know my story, it was very hard having to face that truth for my own child, not because I didn't love him or because I didn't accept him. It was so scary, to your point, because I know the consequences of the brutal our culture and society have for this community. And the thought of, oh my God, how is my child going to go through this process, like, mortified me, because I want to be protective and I want to go into mama bear mode. And I know I can't be there the whole time to protect them. And at the same time, I understood, like, it's their journey, it's their story, and they have to find the way to live it and experience it, whatever and however that means to them, no matter the age. And so I commend you for doing that. And I know that your family loves and adores you, your mom, and it's probably going to take a while, right, for everyone to kind of understand the full picture of it. But I'm sure I can tell you as a mom, having lived through that experience, it takes a bit. And I think for me personally, it was less about, like I said, the acceptance and the love, because that, listen, when you're a mom, when you're a parent, when you're a sibling, you love them no matter what. And I would always share this with our own family. When I became pregnant, I loved my child no matter what, even before I knew the gender. Like, I loved them. And when you give birth, like, that just amplifies. But it's a process. It's a process because it is, the weight in you as a parent weighs heavier because of what you just said, the consequences and the thought of, like, oh my God, how am I going to react if somebody hurts my baby, or if somebody doesn't love them the way they deserve to be loved, or like all these things are run through your mind. But at the end of the day, you are an adult and you will learn your own lessons. You will experience your own experiences. But I commend you for being open about it and understanding and taking pride, and especially since we're still in Pride Month, right? Kicking off Pride Month. That is something that is important, right? Because a lot of the times, thinking about pride and thinking about the difficulties of what pride entails, oftentimes a lot of people forget that it's not just your own, what you want it to be. It is not about sexuality. This is not about choosing one side or the other. This isn't about, like, what I feel like the flavor of today is, like, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever. And people confuse it. That is the number one thing that people get confused about. Like, that has nothing to do with it. It's about how you choose to love. And everything else is what the people come and add extra. That is the morbosity and everything else that has nothing to do with who you choose to be and the choose and the role that you feel to, to fulfill. And so, I commend you for that and being proud about it.
And I also would love to shout out my tío. He is a proud gay man. And at first I was like, oh, what would my family think about me if when I came out? But then I put myself to think, I was like, wait, my tío's gay. And it's just like, my mom even said that too. She was like, why wouldn't you want to come out? Like, your tío Gabi. And I'm like, I know, but like it's
scary.
Sometimes it's not how you guys would react, it's how like we would feel to your reactions. And it's it did come with a process. I was in a relationship this past year or last year that also helped, I guess, not overcome that fear, but be able to be extra confident in who I was. And I thank her for being a small part of a bigger picture.
Yeah.
For really developing a really, really strong love for who I am. It's a beautiful topic to talk about.
It is.
Because like sometimes it makes me emotional to be able to talk about it freely now. But I am who I am, and I will never be ashamed to be who I am. And yeah.
No, well, I'm proud for you. No, hey, listen, I think part of acknowledging our identity and loving who we are truly and freely is exactly that, embodying it and embracing it and being proud about it and knowing that This is my life, my journey, and I only get to live it once. So I'm going to live it in my own terms and however I want. And so I can tell you one of the biggest findings of my research, and although mine focused a little bit more in, transgender children, was the fact that a lot of people that are in the LGBTQ plus community, no surprise, they don't get an opportunity to fully come out until late in life, or they go through life regretting not having come out earlier because they were confused or they were afraid of what, people would think. I mean, look at the cases of the famous, was it Caitlyn Jenner, right? As somebody who's a public figure that's, rich and has like all the ambitions in the world, and they have so much. I mean, literally the whole family, lives off, being influencers and being a public figure. And, she talks about her story, having to fulfill the role of being the perfect dad and how dare am I going to do that. And then when she finally came out and did her transformation, her family was the first to love and accept them no matter what. And I think even their daughters did a huge interview where they talk about like it was so hard more for them to go from dad to she's our mom and we love her and talk to her that way. That when you think about those things, like I went through the same process with my child. I had to do the big pivot. And it's almost like if I can offer this from my lived experience, it's a huge process because it's almost like you're mourning like a loss of someone that you thought it was there. In my case, it was letting go of a child. And somebody literally said that to me. One of my coaches was like, of course it's going to hurt and of course it's going to be heavy because it's literally like you're putting to rest an identity of a loved one that you had so much in you. And now you have to go through the mourning process of letting go and all the grieving processes and then welcome this new life. And when that person told me that, like to me like that, literally I was like, oh my God, what a blessing. Because now I get to welcome this new life in this new form. And it's true identity. And once we allowed that, the personality flourished, the mental health got so much better, the freedom that we saw in their character and their development, it was like, wow. And it was so scary going through the process. But, sometimes that's what the family needs to do and acknowledge that. And I can say this as a researcher, that was one of the number one findings. Most of our community, all they want is love and acceptance. And what that means is, it's almost like you have to put to rest the old version that they envisioned and thought of who you were and allow this new, identity that you have now stated and made clear that who you are, allow it to flourish with all the love and acceptance that they would have before. Like your choices shouldn't change because it doesn't change who you are at the core. Like you're still the loving, caring person that you are. You're still the same loving, passionate, indigenous woman that's going to represent her community. You're still going to be that powerful warrior. Like none of that is changing. It's been amplified because now you know who you are even more. Now you stand in your ground and in your power of saying, I am a proud queer woman. And think about the plethora of not just acceptance and love that you're also opening for others and might be fearful to speak about it. So, and obviously with that, there's the cautious of that should not mean that you become now the beacon or target of violence for others. Like who you choose to be and your preferences should not define who we are as human beings. And I think as a society, we got so much way to go.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
It's sad, especially, and sad on the political environments that we're living today. But I commend you for being so brave and strong.
Thank you.
Coming out to your family and our community because this is public, right? And so much love and respect for you and even more with the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so proud. It's so proud for sure. So you have, a big story, obviously. You're going to be doing this premiere on July 2nd. What else is coming out for Ixchelita? What other projects are you working on? And of course, your beauty line and, your designing aspects. So you got so much going on for you.
I also took up modeling, specifically honing in on representing Chicano culture through multimedia.
Okay.
So heavy on photography. I work with a lot of amazing photographers. Some I would love to shout out: Rene Amado, Antonio Gonzalez, Osvaldo Hernandez, he goes by Guatemex. Brandon, who goes by Bishadam. And Ixchelita, which is the family member that I built from that Frida Fest. I met her at Frida Fest. And Fabian, a bunch of photographers. Carlos Herada, Taylor Herada, Erika Sanchez. There, a bunch of people have been showing me so much love with offering photo shoots, just creative opportunities to be able to hone my newfound love of media.
Yeah.
And with that, I've met so many people across the United States, people in California, Colorado, Texas, Chicago. It's given me another pathway to embrace my culture through connections. And I've also been given really beautiful opportunities to be president of modeling crews. I've given the opportunity to be president of Lowrider Baddies Midwest, which is a chapter that we just opened this past week, just to represent Chicana models in the Midwest. And then I'm also the head admin for Las Traviesas MC Milwaukee. So,
oh my God.
So just being able to also start that project up is amazing. And one photographer like I really would love to work with more in the future, Ariana Rodriguez, who her photographer centers a lot of culturalism, and I love all of the photographers I work with. And yeah, that's gonna be a new project that I'm gonna be really diving deep into.
Yeah.
Another project.
In that modeling part, like I've seen some of the pictures that you've been posting on social media. Oh my God, they're so dope. Like
you.
They're truly like reminds me, what is the Lowrider magazine?
Oh,
like,
thank you.
Seriously, I was like, damn, this girl needs to be the Lowrider. So shout out Lowrider. Like you guys need to put Ixchelita in your magazine
soon, hopefully soon.
Like they are really, really good, and this is where again like who you are, your identity, like it's just so fitting. Like everything, the fit, the the music, the cars, the stage, the way they truly stage it, like it really amplifies who you are. Like it suits you. It's almost like I'm big on manifestation and like say it how you want it to be, right? And it's almost like you're leaving and you're going through these projects already being it. You don't have to wait for it to happen. I hope you understand, like that's already you. Like that's who you are. And enjoy the journey, because when one day you're going to look back and realize and be like, damn, those were my beginnings, but you were it already. You're just, you'll get to that point where you'll look back and you'll be like, yeah, I own that from day one. Like it's on you already. It's part of your DNA.
And then I also did start another project. It's called Midwest Mexas.
Oh.
With being proud of being from Milwaukee, I'm proud of representing Midwest Chicanos. The Midwest is a big region that tends to be overlooked a lot. And especially the Mexicano community in the Midwest. Like we're here, we're present.
Yeah.
Not only is there Mexicanos in Cali, Florida, Texas, there's Mexicanos in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Illinois.
I mean, we throw the biggest fiesta mexicana in the Midwest. Come on.
Literally. And yeah, it's gonna be centered around Mexican representation through music, photography, and beauty. So
that's awesome. Like you truly, like if you think about it, you truly have a good portfolio of who you are, right? It's the artistic side with your singing, which is huge and it's so unique and it's so pure, it's beautiful. You incorporate your dancing, you have your eyelash and beauty, that it's growing and you're building it into what you want it to be. You have your modeling, and now you have also the designing aspect. Like you're totally todo una monería. O sea, you're like a full product. So like that's that's really exciting, because and at the same time you're young and you're starting. Like think about where you're starting from, right? Like, this is huge. It's amazing. And by the time you become a super famous artist, you'll have like plenty of, pathways for you to build out and, have a community that supports you and that loves you and that, it's really behind you because of who you are.
Thank you.
And what you represent.
Thank you.
That's truly amazing, something that I hope you're really proud about.
Took me a while to get to a point where I'm like I gotta do this. Like, it's an idea, but I want to make it happen. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and you're already doing it. So yeah. Well, we're coming to the end. I know it goes by so quickly, but for those young talents out there or anyone that's just, trying to find their way right now, trying to figure out what to do with life and experimenting and are tapping into being creative, what would be your message to them? Anyone that needs to hear something powerful and inspiring from you?
Stay true to yourself. Avoid negative energy. What else can I say? Surround yourself with people who embody the way you want to embody. And if anything makes you uncomfortable, call it out. Hold people accountable for making you uncomfortable, making the community uncomfortable, and be strong in your essence. And especially to my Chicanos, your ancestors did not battle genocidal tyranny to doubt yourself. You are a jaguar warrior. Like, be strong and be proud of who you are.
Oh my God, I love the message. And it is so true. Like, I love that. Like, be honest to yourself, be true to yourself, and stand in your power, right? Because I think oftentimes we forget where we come from. And there's a saying that somebody told me once, is like, you have to know where you come from in order to know where you're going. And it didn't make sense to me at one point, but when I started diving into my ancestors and my lineage and where I come from, I understood. It's like, where I'm heading, there's no room for, misery. There's no room for negativity. There's no room for criticism and all these negative aspects. It'll be on the way, but it's not my destination. My destination will be what I want it to be and the purpose that I'm here to fulfill, which, I'm in my path to finding out what that is as well. So thank you so much for being vulnerable, for being open, for sharing more about your story, and so excited to be able to join you on July 2nd to cheer you up and continue seeing you and all the work that you're doing with your mommy and in the markets and our community. I know we'll be hearing a lot more from you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's been a pleasure. Así que mi gente, ya saben, thank you so much for joining us. As you heard, Ixchelita, not just such amazing talent, but an amazing human being and someone that is doing so much in our community. Don't forget to go shout her out. July 2nd, Summerfest, Miller Stage, and we will see you there. So until the next episode, we'll see you, mi gente.
Adios.